This is week 3 of CJS485, Methods of Research in Criminal Justice. I hope we had the first few weeks of this course, and now let's transition into our third week and discuss what we will review this week and what our deliverables are. So right off the bat, we're looking at our agenda this week, and we're going to review our lecture materials, we're going to watch the literature review video, and we're going to submit our literature review. So our module objectives you can go through, but this week we're going to identify the components of a literature review, examine a gap of knowledge within the field of criminal justice research, and assess academic literature from a Christian perspective. So we have a literature review video for you here. And remember, in a research paper, when we're doing this research prospectus, our literature review is the information that you are going to provide to the reader that the reader would need to know in order to understand your study. So there is an assumption that the reader has a background on your topic. That's why they would be reading your paper to begin with. But your literature review would go through a number of resources, a number of citations, a number of academic journals or academic literature that you believe are necessary for the reader in order to understand your work. And if you start from that perspective, that what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find different academic sources, and I'm going to take pieces out of each one of these academic sources and provide those to the reader so that they have a groundwork, a framework, the foundation for your independent or each one of your unique research questions that you're trying to ask. So remember, in week 1, we provided a research topic. In week 2, we found a single source that helps support it. And here in week 3, we're finding multiple sources. So think back to week 1 and find your research question and think, what would a reader need to know about this topic as a foundation? And then search various topics, accumulate those. In a literature review, we're going to just have a small, short description of each academic source, and then we want to have a thorough APA citation. And that's one of the things that for several of us last week that we stumbled upon. So there are a number of resources available out there on how to accurately cite in APA. There's a lot of sources out there that if you provide the information, it will provide it accurately. So everybody take a moment and ensure that your APA citations are accurate. But here you are. There's a video here that will talk a little bit more about your literature review. A second optional video that will go into a little more detail on your literature review. And then here is our big ticket item. And why I say big ticket is because one, right off the bat, it's 100 points out of our 1,000-point course. So it's a big assignment this week. And for purposes, the assignment is to create a 5 to 8 page modified literature review, not including the cover page or bibliography, related to a research topic of interest to you. The paper should be written in Times New Roman 12 font with standard margins. A literature review is typically the chapter 2 of an academic research paper designed to establish a baseline of knowledge regarding the topic being researched. The literature review helps the reader understand what is known about the topic, as well as assists in establishing a gap within the data that is appropriate for further academic research. In this class, a short literature review will be required to provide details on the topic of your choice and will inform and or contribute to further assignments. The assignment should be created using the following guidelines. Provide a description of the proposed research topic and the specific areas of interest investigated through the literature review process. So what that is that's more or less just a review of what you did in week 1. Describe the stern understanding of the proposed area of research based on a minimum of 3 sources and may include peer-reviewed academic journals or academic books. For this assignment, websites, magazines, newspaper articles, opinions pieces are not acceptable. So I want you to you're going to need to find 3 actual research-based academic peer-reviewed articles. And there's a number of different outlets, our academic library, Google Scholar, to just name a few, but we need to have academic articles. And to be sure, an appropriate in-text reference to the author and year of the publication as necessary to ensure the reader understands the source of the information being presented, and analyze the type and quality of research conducted by the author in your literature review. We want to have a Christian perspective, and then we want to have a conclusion, and then a bibliography where we will then have those three or a minimum of three sources that are included with appropriate APA citations. So we are going to take these sources, and we're going to make this into a 5 to 8 page modified literature review. So you're going to first describe what your research problem is, the purpose of this research, and then describe how these three articles and how these three authors have utilized some sort of information to either establish the problem, provide gaps, and what you would want to look further into your research. There is some grading criteria based upon, the content and analysis, spelling and grammar, your Christian perspective. So take a minute to review that. And remember, like all of our deliverables, this project is going to be due by Sunday at 11:59. The end of the day is Sunday, as we always do in this course, with all of our work being based upon a weekly calendar, and that week ends on Sunday at the end of the day at 11:59. So this is exciting. This is going to be a big movement forward in your research. You all have a topic. You all have expanded upon your topic in week 2, and now here in week 3, you are going to provide some literature that supports your topic. And as you can see, this class is built in kind of that building block fashion where every week kind of builds upon itself. So we're not reinventing our research topic. We're not reinventing our research questions or the purpose. We are just expanding upon it. And that's the beauty of this course. And you're going to be building upon this, even moving forward into the various weeks as we move forward. So everyone have a great week. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, please reach out. But I look forward to reading all of your literature reviews by Sunday at 11:59. Bye for now.